What's good, everybody? You know what time it is. It's time for Elevated Vibes right here on IntellectualRadio.com. Now, the number to the number to get into this conversation is 708-223-8953. Once again, that is 708-223-8953. I am your boy Abdul Rashid with Mr.
Tim.
Tim Evans. That's
Yep,
right.
Tim
The
Evans.
the man, the myth, the legend. All right. And also, y'all can get with us on Facebook Live. All right. Now, look, everybody, we should all know, real talk, that a career as a teacher is like one of the backbone careers of society itself. That's right, because you sit back and you think about it, and let's keep it real. The teacher is teaching us on how we are going to be within the future. All right. Now, unfortunately, because of the low level wages, sometimes some of our teachers, you know, um, have to deal with. I mean, come on, some of these teachers, they get their master's degree and so forth, but then yet their median pay could be like $20,000 lower than, let's just say, a mid-level worker with a bachelor's. How is that? But our teachers, a lot of times, just to make ends meet, they have to pick up a side hustle. And today we're going to talk about some of those side hustles, especially one that has been out there in the news. You want to talk about it a little bit, bro? Or you want me to step into it a little bit?
You can step into it a little bit.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, all right, all right. All right, everybody. There is a teacher who is also, she also raps. Okay. Her stage name is Drippin' Honey. Her real name is,
Dominique Brown.
there you go. There you go. Thank you, bro.
Yep.
All right. Now, Miss Dominique Brown is one of the best teachers that Taylor Preparatory High School in Michigan had. Yes, I said had, because the high school decided to relieve her of her duties because of her rap career. Now, we have to understand, as people, if you're not, you know, helping the ones who are to help our future, and you're not helping them in the best way that you can, but if they have something else that they have a talent for, why would we let them go because of that talent? All right, brother.
All right. Well, your introduction. Before your introduction, I thought we were going to be on the same side of this issue.
Uh-oh. Let's do it.
but but listening to your introduction, I don't know if we are going to be on the same side.
Come on with it, bro. Come
Okay.
on.
So yeah, I agree that teacher salary is way too low, especially public school teachers.
But
Uh,
this was a charter school, so they
yeah,
supposed to have the money.
well, yeah, but I think what was she making, around 40,000? I think they said about 40. And in a city like Detroit, I don't know how that translates, but it doesn't sound like a lot to me, right?
It's not.
So I can appreciate her having a side hustle. Most teachers do something other than teach, especially in the summertime when they have all the off time, and they get other jobs. Um, and I appreciate that she likes rap and she can rap.
Yeah.
And it looks like she got a nice little team around her, good marketing. My problem is um her message. It
Go
Her
ahead. Yeah.
okay, so to me, I listened to some of her songs,
Yes.
and the message that she was throwing out there was kind of like incompatible with uh her what she was teaching, right? Because she's a history teacher, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what do you think about that?
All right. All right. Well, yeah. What she was flowing with out there within her music. Well, let me just put this out here first. I am not one of the fans of some of today's artists because I don't know. It's just not all there. I mean, some of them I can get with, but a good portion of them I cannot.
Mhm,
And her style is along towards that style, but that's also the style that probably made her some money.
mhm.
Okay, and the thing is, though, it did not seem like, and I could be very wrong, and y'all are welcome to correct me. All right, so you know the deal. Hit that number up 708-223-8953. But it seemed like to me that she did not have a conflict of interest on her teaching style. She did not, you know, teach in the wrong way. She was teaching the kids. The kids were connecting with her. They were, she was considered one of the best. And within that school, within that charter system, she was one of the best in a bad situation because that charter system, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Well, you never know what you're going to get in a
Yeah,
charter school,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
It could be one of those
exactly.
charter schools where they pour tons of money into and they get the best education out of the whole state, or you can get something else.
Yeah, and she was one of the best there, but because one parent had an issue,
Oh,
you know.
well, yeah. Okay, okay. So you can say that one parent had an issue, all right, or you can say maybe that's the one parent that bothered to check her out.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't think that the school, the administration at the school took this lightly. They probably went through her, her videos because that's what I did. I went through some of her videos and some of her songs and listened to some of the lyrics. And after I just shook my head, I was like, nope, you
Yeah,
can't, you
no,
can't.
and like I said, I can't agree with a lot of today's rappers out there. I
Mhm.
can't agree on how they do what they do, But she was doing, she was connecting with these kids, and she was furthering her own education,
Right.
and all on the same thing. And then from what I found out about her, the school wanted her to erase all of her work. I mean, some of these people we consider, we put on a pedestal and all that for whatever they done, they don't have to erase their work. You
Mm.
you have a you have I'm trying to be nice, but I don't think I will be. You have an imbecile that's trying to get into the White House.
Mhm.
You're not seeing him get rid of all of his companies. You know,
Right. Right.
you got Hulu that's about to bring Donald Sterling again as almost like a star, but he still owns a lot of buildings in LA. Why should this teacher have to erase her work?
Okay, let me just give you an example because I was throwing around kind of extreme examples all day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got your child is in high school still, right?
Okay.
And you got Too Short as the teacher,
You
right?
would have to bring
Yeah,
up short. Go ahead, though.
Hey, Too Short is your teacher. You found out that Too Short, and believe me, I used to play Too Short to no end. But think of him as the teacher to your child. Now you know some of the things, some of the, it might not come out in the course of the classroom, But you know some of that is seeping out, right?
But wait,
Right? You can't hold all of that in. You know what I'm saying? So
but what? I'm sorry. You had to use short.
yeah, you know,
Anyhow.
I was thinking, I was thinking about the most extreme examples that I could come up with.
Yeah. I get that. But if it was him, and he did not bring,
You telling me that's not seeping in the classroom?
but hey, people
Now,
can get to a point where they can cut things off,
uh-huh.
and
And you got sons. Think of people that have daughters.
yeah,
Okay,
understandable.
all right,
I
all right.
understand.
And we're talking about high school. They got access to all the music, right? So, yeah.
Okay, I understand if it was to the level of short.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that this young lady couldn't do what she did. She ain't got no skills. No, I didn't listen to a lot of her music. Okay, I listened to a couple of songs, and even though I did not, like I told you, I'm not a fan of that style. At least she had some lyrical with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give her that. I'm sorry. There's some that nowadays you're like, what? you know,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, even let's use short. Even between some of his classic words,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going to say them here, but he had some lyrics with
What?
him. Some, not much, but some, but only to a certain level, and which is understandable because yeah. Anyhow, but if he was able, because nowadays, and let's keep it honest, if you are able not to bring that within in the classroom, and from the looks of it, and from what everything I've checked out, she didn't do that. She didn't bring the music career in the class. Now, granted, it was said that after they let her go, that she made a video or something with some of the students within the video, but it still wasn't her other music.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that. So what I'm saying is, if she got that skill to teach and bring education and knowledge to the children, and don't bring the music life, in the class,
Mm-hmm.
what does the school have to say?
Okay, so
And I'm sorry, but again, and a lot of y'all, if y'all want to, y'all can check out what's the name, Taylor Preparatory High School on the web, and you can look at the stars that they got. I'm here to tell you, it was 2.3 out of 5.
Okay.
So you got one of the best in them, which is one of the best in a bad situation, giving the children something, and you let her go.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why they couldn't keep her. Okay.
Come on.
So I watched the video, and okay, think of yourself back, 17 years old, high school, right? All right.
We knew each other at 17.
Exactly. We knew each other.
Right.
So you sitting in the classroom. Your teacher is a nice looking woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and the night before you saw her tweaking on the video.
Okay.
How I it's just not compatible. They had to get rid of it because they have to have an image, right? Especially like with history teachers, you know what I mean? You have to have an image of being like a kind of like a standard of how somebody in your position would kind of carry themselves and
But
why it's important to carry
but
yourself in a
America
certain
has
way.
destroyed that image for everything else.
That's true. I mean, you can.
Let's keep it real.
I think it would be a less issue if she worked for like a corporation, even though that still might be a big issue because then you got, you know, you got a reputation to uphold. But in this case,
But most of these corporations' reputations, which are coming out nowadays, aren't that shiny.
that may be true.
Yes.
That may be true. And you know what? Sometimes it's beneficial for them to have bad press rather than no press. I can see that too.
But then also could not had the school, not had the charter system that's there in Michigan, could they not use the story to twist it? I mean, they do it all the time. You know, they could have used her story to say, hey, this is what she was doing. And she wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, compared to nowadays, she wasn't bad. All right. But she changed her ways, changed a lot of things about herself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she is helping rear our children and bring them up to par. They could have twisted all that.
Okay.
They didn't. And let's keep it real. Not trying to talk about her, but what's her name? Megan Thee Stallion. You know, they were propping her up, but then yet she had a video talking about you know what.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So I mean, I think that it's all right that they let her go because it's like a threshold that she crossed. Okay, so I mean, you can't, even though that's her hobby. She did it outside of work, and you know that's how she wants to spend her extra time. Maybe try to make some extra money doing that. I understand that she is underpaid, but I mean, okay, take this to the extreme, right? Say you had a person teaching, they had a podcast, and on this podcast, they were openly just racist, right? Openly racist against one group or another, right? And you had that same race in your classroom. Now, she might not be bringing it into the classroom, but you know what this woman is doing outside of the class. The kids know what she is doing outside of the class. Agreed. They're hearing that stuff.
Agreed.
So even though she is not bringing it directly into the classroom, it's affecting everybody. It's affecting the school because now the parents all upset. The kids are listening to it. They're upset. And even though she's not, you know, saying racist stuff inside the class, she's just trying to teach history. But how is her perspective of history going to play out if she's racist?
Now let's jump into this with the racist thing, because there were a number, even though they were smaller towns, there were a number of racist individuals, like let's just say within the issue that happened some time ago in Charlottesville, which they gave them, I want to say, it probably was within it was within a government of that small town, and they openly said, hey, I was here in Charlottesville. I supported them, blase skip. And they still have their job. What happened? Well, they still have their job. I want to say honestly that I think they were in Louisiana. You know, it was in a small town in Louisiana. But still, it's just the fact that you're openly racist and you're still working for the government, but you're not tearing them down. You're tearing this person who, you know, is, from what I'm been hearing and reading, she was teaching the kids right. You know, she had a side deal, but she wouldn't have had to have a side deal, maybe. You know, and I think she was doing it before she got into teaching. You know, I'm not too sure, but I think that she was. I think she was doing it before she got into teaching. But the fact was, she probably could have ended that a lot faster or whatever, or didn't do it, you know. And things on that level if she was getting a better paycheck. That even goes to the thing of what was the basketball player? Brittany Griner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had a lot of the WNBA going overseas because they couldn't get paid.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
she would have never been in Russia if you gave her a real paycheck. That's some of the things they're talking about now with that whole situation with Caitlin Clark and all this. So
yeah. I mean, it's definitely different circumstances, that you can have, but
so why could not that charter school, the government, the government of Michigan or whatever, save this young lady's job? Because compared to some of the other people who are keeping their jobs,
Mhm.
who are still getting filthy rich and all that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I don't want to try to compare what's happening in Detroit to what's happening in the South. Sometimes you don't know what's going on in the South.
That's very true.
You know what I mean?
That's very true.
They
I
could
agree with you.
openly accept racist activity. You know, they might have given the person a promotion when they got back from that
from Charlottesville.
Yeah, from Charlottesville. So you never know. Yeah. So I have no
$50,000 a year for you.
What? Exactly. So I can't tell you what's happening too much down there in the South.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the flack that they're gonna take for trying to keep her on as a teacher is probably just too much. It's something that they don't want to deal with. I'm sure that they watched all the videos.
What they got to lose when you are 2.3 out of level 5?
Yeah.
You 2.3. You need all the help you can get. I'm sorry, you do.
Maybe you need some better help. You know what I mean?
And then you got the nerve. I'm sorry. You got the nerve because with the charter schools and all that, to try to take some of this money when you're not really helping them anyway.
Yeah.
You got some of these teachers who it seems like they want to help them and so forth. Yeah, they got a pass. We all got some type of a pass. It all depends if it was on video or did you get caught.
Yeah.
We all got something. Come on now.
So, okay, something else that I was hearing in her music, she says the N-word excessively. Well, I won't say excessively, but she does say it a lot. And I know it's a very widely done thing in rap music.
Yeah.
But then again, she's a history teacher, so she knows the background. Or she should know the background of that word.
I believe so, yeah.
And she's teaching African American students, and she's comfortable with that.
But again,
and you're a parent.
Would she have kept with it if they gave her a real paycheck?
Wait, I don't know if I go for that, Rich.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm just saying. Sometimes you will sit back and look at it, and you will say, okay. And the thing was she didn't erase her her material, and that's why they went ahead and fired her. But then and that's probably the artist of her, because you gotta look at it. You got a bunch of material or something or whatever, and then for somebody who technically ain't really paying you nothing, wants you to get rid of it all. I probably have been like, hey, you know what? It's been nice working for you.
Well, yeah.
And that's the same thing she did.
She's trying to go back.
No. She wasn't trying to go back. I'm just saying that it was an unfair fire in my book. Let's keep it real.
Well, I think that, like I said, I think they did what they had to do. I mean, at a certain point, you gotta start having some kind of standard. You know what I mean? History teachers might be
had that standard way before her, though. But go ahead.
I mean, okay, so you know what? I would even feel different if she was teaching like math.
Why?
Because math is a kind of a science, and math is straightforward. It won't affect how you taught math.
Yeah, but
how you
if history is taught completely, which we both know this country has a problem with doing that, but if history was taught completely, it would be straightforward as well. You know, and you got to take the good and the
History?
bad. Yes, if it was taught completely,
I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can.
you you
I don't think you can
could.
teach history in one way that somebody else couldn't interpret it differently, or you couldn't say it another way, or from a left wing perspective or a right wing
But
perspective.
think about it. Think about it. Think about it now. If and I'm talking about not just only American history, but world history as a whole.
Mhm.
If you were to teach not only, the coming up of England or whatever, as well as teaching the upcoming of Tanzania.
Mhm.
If you were to teach them on the same level,
Mhm.
you could, it would be more full and fair. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And we both know on so many different things they don't teach on that same level.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm saying, that it still could have been cut and dry if that was to be. And unfortunately it's not, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I think that if you go to two different um, places, say you wanted to know about World War II, right?
Yes.
You wanted to know what happened with Japan in World War II, right? You're gonna get the West perspective, and you're gonna get the Japanese
And that's
perspective,
what I mean.
right?
Why come with the two perspectives, and why not just come with the whole thing
Because they go through different experiences. You know what I mean?
and
Is it?
bring both? This is what I'm saying. Bring both. And that's the thing. A lot of times they don't bring both. And that's why, just like you're saying, that, it could be taught in so many different ways.
Mhm.
And, it's not cut and dry like math, but it could be. And just the fact that, okay, and I know a lot of places wouldn't do it because time consuming,
Mhm.
if you really look at it, but then yet, if you're going to do it, you got to do it as a whole.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
some of that stuff is still like it's still like shrouded in like secrecy. You know what I mean? Like you would say, okay, so why did um, America get drawn into the war? America might say one thing to make itself look better, and
of
Japanese
course
might
they
say,
will.
you know what I mean?
Of
So
course they will.
they will never get those two same perspectives in one book.
Mm.
This is what the Japanese say, this is what Americans say, or this is what the English say, and this is what Germany. You'll never get the same perspective. You're going to get the perspective of the winner, pretty much,
This is true.
mostly. You know what I mean? So
This is true. That's why it is history.
right. So
Anyhow,
I mean, the teacher, she might have her perspective on why she's doing it, but it kind of don't matter because the school is against her, and you at least got one parent that doesn't like the way she's doing things, and the potential for her to teach her child some stuff that she don't want the teacher to teach her or him.
hmm
So I mean, I can see that the teacher has her own. This is my thing that I'm doing outside of school, but
right. And but
the
that's the
school got
thing.
standards.
But
This
that's the
we don't do
thing.
this outside of school.
She did not, you know, bring that thing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes some teachers have done that.
Mhm,
Okay, they bring whatever they do on the outside inside.
mhm,
She did not do that at all. And then being that it's a place in need, major need. Let's keep it real. It is Detroit. You know,
mhm,
why would you let that person go? You know, you could have said also, okay, your stuff is out there. It's all on YouTube. All right. You know, are you still making any type of music? And if she is, then that's when you say, okay, we can't let you make any more music, or we have to separate.
mhm.
Which again,
But she already made the music.
but
It's
you
already
understand,
out there.
right? But you understand what I'm saying, though. You can't make as of, I think it was found out around Thanksgiving of last year.
Uh-huh.
So as of what the Monday before Thanksgiving, I'm just guessing. I don't know. You could be like, as of this day, you have anything after that day. Now that's what you got to erase. All right. Because, like I said, they could have spent her whole thing a whole nother way. They do it all the time. They could have spent her whole situation a whole nother way, kept a good teacher who was connected with the kids. A lot of parents liked her too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, yes, don't get me wrong. I understand she had the videos out there of her twerking, this and that. But again, you got so many of these other folks out here with certain videos, and
See,
they're
now,
still,
I want to know your
they're
limit now.
still,
I want to know your
they're,
limit now. Like,
they're
how
still
much?
employed.
How much would you accept before you say, okay, that's too much, she gotta go? How much would you accept? Okay, say that she was a stripper, and she was stripping at night, and she was teaching.
Well, and this is what I'm saying. To whatever point they have, and you have to set points, okay? And they found out late. All right, they didn't vet her, all right, because they vetted her, they would have known already, and it wouldn't even happen. But now you're a place in need, all right. You need good teachers. We all need good teachers. Let's keep it real, all right. You're a place in need, and like I said, they spin things all the time. They do all the time. All right. And there's been examples of it. So you're going to get rid of a good educator for some of the other stuff she has done that it didn't seem like she was doing it anymore. Again, maybe I'm wrong. And anybody correct me, please do. You know, come on. You know, if this person made this change, and isn't America the place of second chances?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what
I
say.
mean, ain't that what they say?
Yeah, but I mean, you can't.
Well,
You shoot, these days I don't know if you can have a second chance. It's always out there. The videos are out there, right? It's already out there. It's no taking it back.
That's why you bring in your spin doctors.
It's no taking that back.
It ain't like they ain't got the money for the spin doctors. I mean, one of the people that were that helps run that charter organization is Betsy DeVos, if I'm saying the name correctly. One of those Trump people, okay, and who had CHOP. She got money. So y'all got money coming in. What happened? Why can't you get the spin doctor for her?
So
you get the spin doctor for everybody else?
This reminds me of, how the abortion pill is getting sold at like Walgreens, and then you have the super religious person that's a cashier that don't want to sell you the abortion pills because it's against their religion. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And they're like, why are you working here if you can't sell the medicine that we need? You know what I mean? This shouldn't be your job. And that's the same situation I see here.
But see, some situations like that in particular went up to the Supreme Court and they saved their job.
So now, Walgreens have to make an exception for a person who's religious. What
was that? I'm actually trying to remember the case. I think it was a lady in Colorado with I think there was like a birthday cake or whatever for a gay couple. And the Supreme Court had the ladies back. Something of that sort. I'm probably getting it wrong, but I know I'm close. Same thing.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Know, some of that stuff, I don't know if it makes sense to me. I mean, I can see somebody,
because I'm sorry, that lady was making cakes. This one is teaching the kids, and was teaching the kids well. Now, if she was not teaching well, then hey, guess what? You gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was doing well.
But I mean, okay, she could be teaching well, but she can be
best of a bad situation. Go ahead.
I don't know if she is good in all the ways you can look at her presence at the school. You know what I mean? It could be
about image, which I
right.
understand.
You're right.
I understand.
If you had a whole school full of teachers who did rap videos, how many parents are gonna want their kids to go to that kind of school? You know what I mean? Or I mean, not
I
just rap
agree.
videos, but just videos like she was making.
Yeah, I agree
She
with you,
said,
but you only had one.
yeah,
You only had one.
right. So
Again,
the
what's up?
school should be acceptable for
No,
except that
what
one
I'm
teacher.
what I'm saying is that a Dominique Brown, whatever her name was, Miss Brown, any videos before this date, you keep. Any videos after this date has to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or we let you go. No, they said all your stuff got to go. Come on now. You know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the videos that I saw
Yeah,
all were in the
I
same
told
category,
you
and
I'm not a fan
you know what I mean.
personally, but
I mean,
an artist is an artist.
so right, artists are artists, and sometimes in like the rap genre, right? They they picture and they talk about women in a certain kind of way. They talk about guys in a certain kind of way. Uh, Sometimes they talk about criminal life in a more positive light, or the fact that it happens that happens sometimes, but sometimes they glorify it, right? And she was doing that, right? That's what it sounds like. And you're gonna teach history, and you glorifying.
I understand what you're saying, but now let's jump into that.
Uh-huh.
Just like when you and I were young, and it was a number of rappers out there that did the same thing, even though I'm sorry, still had better skills. I'm gonna keep saying that. But anyhow, they glorified it because they knew one thing: it sold records.
Right.
You know, it sold records, and they went after it to make some money. And what I'm saying is, even though I know she was rapping before she really got into the teaching thing, okay, but but you know what I'm saying? She was doing the thing very well, helping the kids,
I agree. She was
get,
helping the kids. She was
yeah,
helping the
right,
kids.
right,
Okay.
and bringing a better things to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said what I said, where it would have been Miss Brown from this date back. That's yours. Do your thing, whatever, whatever. But from this date forward, if you want this job, if you want this position, you got to let that go. I think that'd have been a lot more on a level of fair.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Which she probably would have accepted, which would have been something better for the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know how hard the teaching thing to get good teachers. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard. It's hard to get them, and it's harder to keep them. And the reason why even we started everything with me talking about teachers getting $20,000 less, and they can have a master degree, is the fact that hey, you can't keep a person because they need to, number one, pay off their college tuition, which we all know is astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then two, you need to live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she could have toned it down. She had the option of toning her music down. It doesn't have to be that style of rap. Especially if she do.
I agree with the
don't-
rap style
I
personally.
I don't know if she took into the account the consequences of that kind of gangster rap style. You know what I mean? So, like you said, maybe she was rapping. All of her music came out before she became a teacher.
Well,
I'm not sure.
that's why I hear most of it did.
Okay.
Like a good high percentage of it did. And I could have read something wrong. I mean, come on, it's the internet. You know, a lot of times you do come across what you think is correct and you find out it's wrong. But, and that's why I said what I said, where if they would have gave something like that, it would have been a lot, you know, it'd have been more fair
Mhm.
to her. Because I think that's what they should have done. And because I mean, overall, regardless if you like it or not, the lady's an artist, you know.
I mean, I would agree with you,
And
Sal.
you're gonna have that artist brain because you're an artist, that's your baby.
Right. But okay, so when she started to get in trouble with the school, right? When they started talking to her about this, she came out with another song with the students, her former students, right?
I think that's correct.
Right. She came out with another.
Correct, but
That song had the same stuff in it.
did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that one's hey,
So-
I didn't catch it. What I did catch was one that you were speaking about historical black universities.
Okay.
And it really wasn't nothing at all in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't catch everything.
It wasn't too harsh. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It wasn't too harsh, but it still had a couple of,
Well, okay. Well, you got a certain style, so that's going to come up. Now that's a whole different thing.
I don't know.
That's going to come up. But if they did kind of like what I said, and hey, gave a real paycheck,
yeah,
you wouldn't have had a lot of that, and you would have had a good teacher. And that's another good teacher gone, regardless of what the past is.
Well, I mean, she was a good teacher up until the fact where she was making, that rap music on the side that was kind of,
but
it was kind of degrading towards,
she needed to get paid. That goes back to that paycheck.
So you got to make that kind of music to get paid.
But look, she knew a certain style. You're gonna go with whatever that style is. You know what I'm saying? And she knew a certain style, so I can understand that. Like I told you, I'm not a fan of today's rap. I'm not, but I understand if this is a style that this is a style that got you paid. What you gonna do?
So okay.
I mean, they ain't giving enough to feed her.
Uh-huh.
You gotta eat.
So let me ask you a question, okay?
Come on.
You sitting in class, right?
Yes, sir.
You're taking a political science class.
Yes, sir.
The class is being taught by MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
Full of conspiracy theories, right?
Yes.
Hey, that's it. That's his point of view.
Right.
What do? You keep that guy or you get rid of him?
I give him a better ultimatum. If he is teaching the kids correctly, even though now see that he ain't teaching kids correctly. So you gotta give him that ultimatum to say, hey, you already did what you did.
Uh-huh.
I can't change history, but I could change you right now.
But I mean, he would teach the kids correctly. He can say 100% truth.
Correctly is the full thing of history, full thing of political science.
He can say 100% true things in that class as a MAGA guy, right? And it could still be wrong because he can put emphasis on stuff that he want to put emphasis on.
This is what I'm saying. The true things of correct history,
Mm-hmm.
the true things of correct political science. Or is it just that MAGA version? Is that MAGA version? Then you got to go.
Well, I mean, he's a MAGA guy. He's going to give the MAGA spin on it. So say he was talking about like, okay, the last election with Biden and Trump, they had irregularities and all of these different states.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I like the irregularities.
Irregularities in each state, right?
Go ahead.
That is true. They did have irregularities in those states, right? But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to do anything. They had to, maybe a couple of thousand here, a couple of thousand there, or maybe they miscounted or something. But it wasn't enough to change anything. But he's emphasizing this.
He may be emphasizing that, but did he come with the fact that a lot of places that Trump tried to sue, like what was it, Wisconsin, and they did the recount. If he came and they did the recount and he said, he said it and he pushed that as well, I can't say nothing to him.
Well, he can't say everything.
But see, that's the problem.
He can't say everything.
That's the problem.
You know, he
now,
might leave that part out.
Wait. Now look what you just said. He can't say everything. That's when I could fire him.
No, why? Why would you fire him at that point?
I would fire him because he did not say everything.
He didn't say what you wanted him to say.
No. What I'm saying is everybody gonna have their opinion.
All right.
You know the saying, opinion, you know what. But everybody gonna have their opinion. Everybody is. But if he comes with both sides, then I can't say nothing. I can't say a word. You know, he may be MAGA, blah, 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 but I can't say nothing because he came with both sides.
He can always come with both sides.
If he only did one emphasis and all that, then I could burn him.
So, okay, he can spin history any way he wants, right?
And that's the thing. He can't, that would be me. You can't spin history. I'm not going to have you spin history. I'm going to bring the complete thing of history. You got to bring the complete thing. If I'm going to judge you as a teacher and I'm the principal, then I want the complete thing, just like a math class. So I won't cut and dry from you.
That's different. That's different. Math is cut and dry.
I want cut and dry from you. If history teacher, you're not going to give me that cut and dry unless you say, hey, I am a German history class, or I am a Russian history class, or anything of that sort. Then, hey, well, there you go. You do what you do.
It's way different. But it's way different.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand what you're saying. But okay, math
because
class.
You asked me if I'm the principal now,
right? 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. You can't spin that.
That's true,
right? But if you ask if Winston Churchill was a good prime minister, you can spin that. Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. It's two different. It's probably 50 different ways that you can argue whether he was a good prime minister or not.
If I'm the principal, me, not everybody. If I'm the principal, and if you don't give both sides, and I find out that you didn't give both sides, and it may not, you only gave one side a full week, but that next week you got to give the other side. If you don't give that other side, then we're going to talk. You know, but if you do, I could say nothing.
You know what?
Sit there and take it. You know, even though I may not like it, what can I do?
So this is why they fired her right now, because you have a parent that's taking your position and a parent and they'll be all around the table just arguing back and forth. They don't have no time for that stuff. You know what I mean?
I agree.
They don't have
time
for that.
They ain't got time for that.
You gotta go. You cause the controversy.
I would just be going, and I would.
You causing too much controversy. Right. You know what I mean? You gotta go.
I would be going. You're right. But and that's the thing again. If you give both sides in that same ample amount of time, that means okay. If you that MAGA cat, you give the full week to MAGA style. But that next week, you can't just give Monday. You know what I'm saying? If you do that, we gonna talk.
Right.
You got to give a whole nother full week on the other side. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a proper way to look at it, to give both sides. But rarely does that happen, especially with history and things that you have opinions on.
And that's the problem.
I mean, you can't do that with any of the social sciences like philosophy. You can't do that with like sociology, psychology. All of them have your side, my side.
And that's the thing. They choose not to do that.
I don't think you can.
It may be time consuming, but you can.
I don't know if you can make it totally fair.
I mean, yeah, you can. You can. The problem is that America wouldn't go to a full year school system. You know what I'm saying? A full year that means your butt's in the summer too. That ain't gonna happen. You know, they do it in other countries. They should also do it here. I mean, think about it. You know?
Yeah. But okay, think how hard it would be though. I mean, you got say you're giving a class on the civil rights, right? You're a history teacher.
Yeah.
You got to give the people who fighting for their civil rights a voice. And you got to give the people who trying to take your civil rights. So it's a clear right and a clear wrong.
Right.
Why should the wrong get the same access in the same amount of time as the people who are right?
I agree with you 300%.
Right.
I really do. But could I say anything? Could I really say anything? if you gave that same energy and amount of time on both sides?
I don't know.
I can't really say nothing. Now,
I could.
again, though,
I could.
would I like it?
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
I would have so much attitude with that teacher. They know they would have issues with me because I'd be that principal standing right in the window, like, I'm waiting for you to mess up.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can get.
I'll probably be that principal that pull up a chair in the class and sit there.
Man, I don't know if you can get bad thinking people the same amount of time as the people who are saying the right thing.
Well,
You can't do it.
I agree with you, but
Can't give them that much air.
Could I say anything?
I think you can. I think you got to. If somebody want to take half the time expressing to me the benefits of the KKK, I don't have time for that. It was wrong. You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother level.
No student should be subjected to that kind of.
And I agree with you.
Right?
Now that's a whole nother level, though, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean,
that's
some arguments are already just dead. You don't have to have air for them.
And I'm not talking about those type of arguments. Those type of arguments I'm not messing with. Mm-hmm. Now, and I agree with you on that. Don't even bring that in the school. Don't even bring that on the block, personally. Let's keep it real. But if it's something that I totally disagree with, I may totally disagree with it. But it could be viable to a subject, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. All right. But if you give, like I said, you give that energy and that same, it has to be the same. I ain't gonna lie, I'm nitpicky like that. So if I see 1 ounce of less energy to the other side, I got you.
Oh man,
it's on. That's all I needed to see. That one bit, that 30 seconds of less energy, I'm coming at you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If I'm the principal. Now that's in that position and so forth. Now they can't be that buck wild on that level with the KKK. You, like I said, you can't even bring that on the block. But if it's something else, if you get the same exact, I can't say nothing. All and right. It'll rip at my heart. I ain't gonna lie to you. It'll rip at my heart. Yeah. But I know I can't say nothing if it's to a valid point. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, and I realize that, and I catch you, you're done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all depends on, that whole situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I can see your point with everything with, that extra side of that life, that music life, that possibly could be a distraction. But if this person's not bringing it in there, mm-hmm. If she was bringing it in there, let's hypothetically say she was trying to promote some of her albums in there, mm-hmm. even though they were old albums and blase skip. If she was promoting her albums in there, then I got you. You gotta go.
And you know what? I can't see how she would not be promoted because she had the students in her video. That's kind of promotion.
And that was that last one after from what I read. And again, I could be wrong. Again, I never stepped foot in the state of Michigan, even though I got people there. Mm-hmm. But from what I read, she did that after they let her go. From what I read, you know what I'm saying? And again, I could be wrong. Sometimes in the internet, that happens.
Yeah.
But while she was there, she didn't.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a whole nother thing, whole nother road to flow. But we are running against the time. We are running against the clock. That's what happens, folks, when you have a good conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very good one.
So much love to y'all. I'm your boy Abdul Rashid. This is Mr. Timothy Evans. We will catch y'all next week. Peace.